Hello everyone, I'm Marvin, and this is the second video of a series I'm doing about preparing a Liveset performance. I've been asked a lot about the Liveset and everything, and I wanted to cover this for a while. And since I have an actual performance to prepare, I'm going to document all the process of getting ready for that. So today is part two. If you have not watched part one yet, it's kind of a bit of like the Lord of the Ring movies or something. Like, it's better if you've watched the first one before watching the second one. But yeah, today I'm going to prepare a track for Liveset performance. And I'm gonna document that process. Each track, they reach a point where they are ready to be released and sent to the label and Spotify, distributor, all that stuff. But before I can play it in a Liveset format, there's other stuff I need to do, and that other stuff, that's what I'm gonna show today. I'm going to show how I split the stems, prepare the stems, and master the stems. And all the integration in the Liveset is going to be for another video, because you'll see that there's some pretty chunky stuff today, so I don't wanna, we're keeping it light. And also I'm trying to balance between, getting technical so that other producers can check it out, and also keeping it light so someone who's just like interested from the outside about knowing more about the Liveset can also follow that. But today, I think it's going to be pretty much the most technical of all these videos in this series. But yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be interesting to say the least. So if you're a producer and you want to learn how to build a Liveset yourself, I'm running a mentorship program with Fractal Sounds. It's called Fractal Mentorships. The link is in the description if you want more information on it, but you can definitely have some help in regards to building a Liveset, in regards to just anything electronic music production in general, sound design, mixing and mastering. There's a lot of stuff. The link is in the description. And now I'm going to bring you inside the project, inside the process. Let's prepare a track for live performance. All right, so I'm inside this project that it's called, the file name is Pastec Méfiance, but Pastec is actually the project name of Solarpunk before it was named Solarpunk. That was one of the options, but it's actually a pun in French about a melon. But when I discovered that there was also Quantaloupe that exists, and that's also like a pun with a fruit, I decided that just not to go forward with it. But that's when I went with the name Solarpunk. Anyway, that was the little Easter egg in there. So that's the track. It's an unreleased track, but I feel like it's gonna be the perfect track to start my Liveset with. But now what I need to do is I need to prepare it for a live performance with my Liveset format. First, we can listen a bit how it sounds. Sorry if you hear some cracklings. It's just that the project there's a lot of CPU usage. So I'm gonna keep it real for this this video. It's really like how this stuff happens. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save an alternate project, because I'm gonna start fiddling in this one, and I don't want to alter the original project that is currently a stem mixing state. It's a project I used to stem mix this track. Now I'm going to reroute some stuff. So I'm going to create 4 stems. The first one is going to be kick and bass. I'm gonna rename this one. Now next up is drums, and it's different than the process that I usually do when it comes to mixing. I usually keep the drums and the clap separated as like very far in the process, but right now I just want to bundle that up. And also, if there's some tribal drums or ethnic drums, I'm going to place them in there, but I don't think there's some for this track. Now I should have only the drums there. Now the next stem I need is, I usually call it synths, but really that's just anything that is up front. That should be correct. And in the next project, because I'm going to import that into a project to master it, and I'm going to like confirm if everything is routed properly. I might do some changes. And the last one is it's going to be effects. So I see atmospheres here. I see effects. Oh, there's acid stacks probably. So I don't even remember how that sounds, but just by the name, acid stacks is going to go into synths. And yeah, the last one is called effects, but really what this is anything that is background, in the background, abstract stuff. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to export that into a project, 32 bits float, and split mixer track, of course, because that's what I want, and then go. So after a 10-minute export, this is what I have. I'm going to load that into a new project. I'm going to adjust the BPM. And then I'm going to proceed to master that. So I'm not going to do all that on, on camera and just record it, but it's going to take a while. What I'm going to do once I'm going to be done, I'm going to show you sort of a summary of what's in there and what has been done. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm done with the mastering. I'm going to explain a bit what has been done here. What's really important to understand is that if you take, for example, a track that has been mastered, and it's being sold through Beatport, it's being played. This track has been mastered in a classic way. Every channels, every bus, everything converge into the master channel, and there's some processing also there that is like the final standardization. Everything limiting, clipping, depending on what the engineers go for. In this case, since I'm running 4 stems, there's no master bus. So I need to make sure they are standardized to, well, be balanced. So I don't, since there's, when it converts to a limiter, a compressor, there's a gluing and consolidation effect that is not possible with that format. So I really need to make sure that everything is in place. So on the kick and bass, I have this bridge channel EQ. I removed some sliciness of the kick. I also did a pull tech trick sort of thing with a high pass here and a push at 110 hertz. This gives a really, really nice low end. You can hear. Well, personally, I really like it. So that's that's not all. There's a True Iron, of course, and I have a Lift 3. I don't know why I went with Lift 3 since I do have Lift 4, but it's just yeah, honestly I don't know why, but it's just a bit of clipping action to get it to the proper level. That's one other thing when I was discussing about the classic mastering versus that's really hard. So what I do, I standardize my kick and bass first at -9 LUFS. It's much more quiet than usual stereo masters, just usual mastering process. But yeah, since it's for a Liveset mastering, I know the Liveset is globally a bit more quiet than the typical stereo master, but that's kind of something I need to sacrifice in order to have the freedom of the Liveset. Now on the drums, Fire the Gold. This API compressor is really cool. It's at It's at 26%. And this is really gluing all the drums together, and it's giving the clap a nice snap. Also, I have a smooth operator just to take off. You know, I shaved a bit more resonance out of this one, again, because of like, since there's nothing after that, it needs to be gentle. Finally, True Dynamics to just glue everything together. That's on the synth Fire the Goal as well. Here, really cool. There's Arctic. So this Arctic compressor, it works with RMS instead of peak levels. So since I wanted to have something very in control, like I explained a couple of times, but that's like the cornerstone of this. So by having this work with RMS, I make sure that things are very stable. That's pretty much the settings I used. Bit of EQ, also end console after the compressor. So since the signal has now been compressed, after that with I can really adjust the gain level I want. A little bit of true iron because it's true iron, and a safety limiter at the end. And finally, that's the abstract stems. So Fire the Gold, true iron, Pig 4, amazing compressor. It's another API style compressor, but yeah, for the drums I prefer the other API, the one from Waves, and for the rest of the usage I like this one from Acoustica. And at the end also end console. It's really it's like having a console fader, really, to adjust the final touch. And just quickly, I can go through the stems to kind of show what elements corresponds to what. Obviously, like kick and bass drums, you kind of already know what this is, but I'll show you what has been kept in the synths, and I'll show you what has been kept in the effects. You know what? Actually, there should be an atmosphere that so earlier in the video I talked about rerouting stuff. I think I will reroute some stuff because I want in my stems, the way I'm gonna trigger them and the way I can use them, this is too empty. That's actually, that would corresponds to like a classic mixing routing, but in the effects thing, I want to have more meat because right now it's just white noise and effects. I want to have atmospheres and background stuff, so I'm gonna go and reroute that. I'm not gonna show it on the video. I think it, you guys get the point. I shown what I wanted to show. I'm also not going to show the 3 other tracks because I'm gonna repeat the process for 3 and almost 4 other tracks that I want to include in Liveset. I might do in the next video some sort of report on that, but that's pretty much, yeah, that was the idea. This video, this part was to show what needs to be done to prepare the track for live performance. Coming up in next videos on my to-do list, I will start to dust off the Liveset and work on the pacing, the order of the tracks, and yeah, that's it for today. And that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I have other stuff to cover on the to-do list. It's coming up. There's more stuff. We're gonna discuss synth. I'm gonna choose either the Mini Freak or the Micro Freak to bring on stage, and there's some preparation to be done with that, because if you bring a synth, it's kind of cool to have some presets that you can use, and you need to be ready. Just you don't show up on stage and just fiddle and bamble around like it needs to be prepared a bit. At least I need to prepare some tools so I can have the choice to go wherever I want and take different directions. That's really all what the Liveset is about, is having the possibility to go in many directions. And really, that's it for today. Like I mentioned, I have to go and do the other tracks. There's like 3 or 4 other tracks that I want to get ready and include in the Liveset. possibly more psychedelic techno, because yeah, I wanted an excuse to bring up some psychedelic techno on stage and prepare them. So I'm gonna do more of these. Gotta go work right now. Gonna see you in another video. Happy producing.